Thank you for joining us today for the Grubby Ground segment, Sylvia.
My pleasure.
You've had the unfortunate experience of raising Mrs. Webster. Would you like to tell us a bit about her?
Yeah. Well, Natalie, as you know, she is a twin, and of course as twins they did everything together. And Nicole walked at 9 months old, Natalie not till she was 14, and we figured out it's because Nicole used to just sit on her.
Today's theme is the drive, and you've certainly had an interesting one. And over the past 40 years you've been raising 8 kids, a mini empire.
What comes to your mind when you think of that thing?
Look, the drive to me is the journey through life, from birth to death. You know, you have your children and you think you want the best for your children, and you try to to bring them up according to the way you feel they should be brought up, with your own values and that sort of thing. And you have your ups and downs, you know, good times and bad times, and hopefully at the end of the journey you come out of it and you're reasonably happy, your children are fulfilled, starting their own families, they're starting the drive again.
I imagine raising 8 children would be quite a task, especially when 4 of these are twins. How would you describe the ride?
It was a bumpy ride, a lot of the time, but I wouldn't say that it was a problem having the twins. If anything, I think it made life easier because they tended to feed off each other and amuse each other. It has been an interesting journey, and you know, I suppose I found the most difficult years is when they became teenagers, because that's just a whole different ball game. It's not just crying babies that need to be fed, it's just trying to sort out what drives them, what's the problem. And like, some are more easygoing than others, but you always have issues.
How did you find time to connect with God?
Well, I suppose I did it in an unconventional way. I'm not one to kneel and pray, that sort of thing. My dialogue with God is my prayer, and I would tend to just chat in my mind. You probably think I'm crazy, but that's how I do it, and I could chat all day long, sort of thing, you know, like if something's going wrong, I think, why am I doing this, God? Why are you doing this to me? You know, this sort of thing. It's just a matter that goes on all day long, basically, on and off. You know, I have a very simple faith, and my parents was a simple faith. I didn't question too much. I just, you know, it's just more a living faith. How I do it. So really, very rarely a day, I suppose, goes past without me thinking about God, or you know, that sort of, especially when things go wrong. That's when most people think about God, because they need help, intervention. Can't do it on their own. Yeah, no, I think probably because I found so much comfort from prayer, admittedly it's my own sort of prayer, that I felt that the children might, as well as they're growing up, help them deal with things by being able to talk to somebody and know that somebody's not going to answer you back, hopefully help you. You know, I think it's important to pray in whatever style you choose to do it, or whoever you choose to do it to. You know? It's a form of reaching out.
How has your walk with God evolved over the years?
Well, it has changed dramatically. Obviously, when you're a child, you think like a child. You know, God is always wonderful, and life is wonderful most times. And then I found I had no problem with it through my childhood at all. I accepted everything for what it was. I grew up in a lovely community, a lovely faith community. And then, as I suppose, it changed when I started work and left home, where I didn't have my parents pushing me to go to church, and that I tended to stray away, only for a short time. I strayed away, but I felt terribly guilty, you know, the Catholic guilt thing. But then I came back, of course. But when I say go away, I've never lost my faith. I just didn't go to church and go to the sacraments and that sort of thing. And then of course, when we started having children, it was very, I implemented a lot then because I wanted the children to have that, what I grew up with that faith in that.
A lot of the youth in today's society relate to songs. Is there any songs that you relate to that reflect your faith?
Oh, there are lots of songs. One in particular is a little poem that I have, this little one here called The Weaver. I've had this for many years and I love it because it's my life is but a weaving between my Lord and me. I cannot choose the colours, but he worketh steadily. And that sort of thing. It's basically saying that he's looking up from there. It's like a tapestry, a weaving, where underneath always sees the beautiful work of a tapestry. Whereas he's on the other side, where he sees all the knots and the snags and all that sort of thing. He sees the workings of it and he knows why everything's happening in our lives. And like it says in the end, not till the loom is silent and the shuttle cease to fly, does God unroll the canvas and explain the reason why. So, in other words, there's a meaning to everything that happens in life.
So now we're going to play the word association game, where I'll say words from Harry and you'll say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Should be interesting.
Postcard.
From hell.
Mount Warning.
Beautiful.
Bible.
Fashion.
Photograph.
Family.
Jesus.
Christ.
Grandchildren.
Sweet.
Vase.
Flowers. Flowers.
Church.
Mount St. Pat's. Now why did I say that?
Chandelier.
Glass.
Chair.
Seat.
The cross.
Jesus.
Television.
Yuck.
The drive.
Life's journey.
Miley Cyrus.
Hey! I'm over 60. I think I know who she is.
Thank you for doing Grubby Ground with us.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.